What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We are going to dig into AI today because some of you may know, some of you may not know. We do coaching and Shane personally leads several groups every week through different conversations, different ways of getting business, different ways of serving your referral partners and bro, you recently you fell into this kind of rabbit hole of no one is going to refer you business from a partner perspective that you're not adding value to. And so you deep dove into building out a GPT that essentially understood what a realtor is, who they are, what they stand for, what their hopes and dreams are. And then really it just started spitting out how to add value from a daily perspective. And so we just want to jump into it, kind of pull back the curtain, so to speak, on what this looks like. And I'm excited to learn along with the people today.
Well, it's really been fun, but a couple rules that I want everybody to agree to before we get started. You don't have to get a college degree to be considered an expert anymore. So I think a lot of us have this mindset where, and I hear this because I'm coaching 7 different groups of people, and I hear it often. I'm not an expert. And it's like, what gives you the right to say you're not an expert? Like, do you need to be a PhD to be do I have to have a doctorate to call myself an expert? And I don't think that's true. I think the reality is in commission sales, you just need to be the first race car on the track, probably with your head in the wind, right? Like It's the guys that are saying, "Oh, I'm just going to wait for somebody else to learn it and draft behind them." You're going to lose. That's not a success strategy anymore. And so I think that that's something that people need to just get their minds wrapped around, is that we've got to dig in on this.
Yeah.
We've got to become an expert. I'm not smarter than anyone else. I'm probably the dumbest guy that's going to listen to this call.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's something, because we have these limiting self-beliefs that hold us back from becoming an expert on something that is as simple as having a conversation with your computer and speaking into it what you need, your weaknesses, your audience. And so that's what I did. And so what I did is so that's rule number 1. You can choose to be an expert, or you can choose to not be an expert, but you don't need a $200,000 student loan debt degree to be considered an expert anymore.
Yeah.
Number 2, you have to lead from a place of contribution. Nobody wants to work with somebody who's a taker, not a giver. And so there's so many examples of how we can do this in business. When you're working with leads, you should be giving them value through education, through certainty, through transparency, through access to rates, things that they can't get on their own. That's contribution. With your people under contract, it's access. I'm available, right? Like, I'm contributing to people that are under contract on deals because I'm available. I'm answering questions. I am an expert. I'm giving them clarity. I'm giving them certainty. I'm creating some stabilization in an otherwise kind of rocky experience. For people who are past clients, who are my clients who I've closed a loan for, I'm giving them benefits. I'm giving them key steps, an app that they can use to manage their finances. I'm helping them go from a 749 FICO to an 850, because life gets better when you have an 850 FICO, right? So again, if you lead from a place of contribution, you can win. Now, most LOs know how to contribute fairly well when it comes to the lead to post-closing experience. It's really when they work with referral partners that they start to struggle. All of a sudden, they don't understand human behavior.
Yeah.
They quickly forget what real estate agents want. And what's crazy is it's actually the same thing we want as LOs. We want to make more money. We want to work less or have more time, more capacity, and we want to have greater influence. And so if you think about what we want, it's the exact same thing that real estate agents want. They want to make more money. They want to work less or get more done in the same amount of time, have more time capacity, and they want to have greater influence. And so if those are the things that they want, then how do we contribute to their life so they can get more of those things? If you master that, you have mastered the art of creating and maintaining referral partner relationships. And so as I was going through this on our coaching calls, we had an LO who said, I'm just old school. And she identified herself as being old. And I said, okay, so that's actually a terrible mindset, because there's things we can now do with AI to take advantage of the experience. And so I'm actually going to go in a different, I'm actually going to pivot on this, because I made 2 different bots in AI that both created contribution. But as I'm sitting here today and I'm thinking about most of my friends in lending, they need something that's going to move the needle right now. They don't need something that they can do and in 30 days get a lead that they'll then convert in 3 months into a closing. We're going to get into that, and you need that too. But today, you need something where, what if I could give you a tool and you could just take something that you already do at an expert level and it can turn into a money creation machine? Like, if we could do that, instead of saying, I got to go become an expert on something new, which we can and we should.
Yeah.
What if you could do something right now that moves the needle? And so what we're going to do is we're going to leverage the conversations you already have repurposed using AI to make you more money. And you and I didn't talk about this. This is
did not.
This is fresh off the whiteboard, bro. Like it's still drying. The ink is still drying on the board. And I want you to break this down and kind of challenge me on this, because I think this is a game-changing strategy.
Okay.
So here's what you do. Everyone who's a lender should, could, and does do intake conversations. This is that pre-qual, over the phone, in-person conversation you have where somebody says, hi, Kyle, I was referred by Bob over at Keller Williams, and I need to get pre-qual, pre-approved, pre-underwritten for a loan. And you have one of 2 strategies. You either say, great, apply first, then let's chat, or great, let's chat, then you can apply. I don't care which strategy. I have my belief. I like to do the phone call, that intake call first. I want to make sure that my team isn't working with somebody that isn't a good fit for my business.
Right.
I want to make sure that I've told you. It would be like, for me, I'm going to tell you what the roller coaster is going to be like before I put you on the roller coaster. I feel like if you just have somebody apply, you're kind of like, say, hey, sit in this seat. You put a blindfold on, then the roller coaster goes, and then they come back and you go, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So again, just one man's opinion, but I think you should do the intake call before you do the application. So I do intake calls, and it's a 15, but really more like 30-minute conversation. And that conversation is me saying, hey, Kyle, what are you looking for in a lender? Tell me a little bit more about your life. Like, how did you get here today? What are your dreams? Why do you want to get a home? And as I'm going through this, I'm unpacking where you've worked, what kind of assets you have. I'm basically pre-qualifying you, income, assets, credit. And I'm placing you into a loan in my brain, or multiple options. And what's also coming out of that conversation is you're saying, what's MI? Well, how much do I need to have for a down payment? And I'm then using my expertise, something I'm already a doctorate at. And I'm saying, oh, great question. Yeah, if you do 5% down, or 3.5 to 5% down, there's actually several different loan options. I'm walking you through them. I'm talking about low FICO. I'm basically taking my 16 years of knowledge and picking out the parts of that matter to you. And what's crazy is the questions you're going to ask me, other people are asking me. Now, here's where this is a game changer, because the reality is the average originator today is no more efficient or productive than they were 5 years ago.
Yeah.
They're not doing more loans today because they have better technology. They're more overwhelmed by technology. They're more depressed by the rate environment. They're not more productive. And yet, in nearly every other industry, they're significantly more productive today than they were 5 to 10 years ago. And so this is a hack to be more productive, increase your dollar per hour, and create impact right now. So here's what you do. You take what you're already doing, your intake calls.
Yep.
And you start recording them. I'm doing a dramatic pause because people are like, okay, yeah, what else? You record them. You collect your knowledge that you're already sharing, and now you start to collect and gather that knowledge. Now, here's what we do. We use Fathom AI, and you use this as well. I now use Fathom every time I'm on a call. Every time I'm in Zoom, Teams, Google, what is it called? Meetup.
Yep.
I capture all of that using Fathom. And here's 2 reasons why this is so important. A, because your words to your leads, your prospects, your pre-approvals, your clients can become dollar-producing content. And second, it's a CYA. It's just a better experience for the consumer. So instead of doing an over-the-phone conversation, I now do them all via Zoom. And I say, hey, Kyle, man, thanks for reaching out. I'm super excited that Bob at Keller Williams gave you my information. Step 1, I'd love to get on a quick virtual one-on-one to just kind of answer any questions you might have, walk you through the process, make sure you're prepared to get on the roller coaster, right? Then what I do is I send them my Calendly link. They schedule on Calendly, my Fathom AI note taker that records the video and transcribes everything that I speak into text. They select what they want to use, Teams or Zoom, and then we do our 30-minute call. As soon as I'm done with the call, everything, all the knowledge I just dropped is converted. It's converted into an AI summary and the recording that's automatically sent to that person. So now they have that call as well. So when they come back to me 6 months later and say, Shane, you never told me that I'd have to give you 2 years of tax transcripts because I'm self-employed, and they're pissed, I go, Kyle, man, if there's one thing I know I'm consistent in, it's my intake conversations. I would have never let you get in this process without doing that. But man, I don't want to fight with you. Let's just go back to that call we did. And now you've got the memorialized meeting for them to go over. But more importantly, I'm now creating content off of that content, because the story we tell ourselves is, for me to be a content creator, I have to powder my nose, go put on my best outfit, get perfect lighting, get a commercial grade microphone, and then stand in front of a teleprompter and talk about MI, like low FICO mortgage products, and become a vendor. Why not instead of projecting myself as a vendor online, why don't I just capture the expertise I'm already sharing on intake calls and then convert that into content?
Yeah. And
so step 1 is you create a systematic approach to your intake call. Every call is captured, every call. And really, this is something that's beneficial to all parties. It's also great because if somebody says, I don't want you to record the call, you better really quickly start to question why they don't want you recording that call.
Right.
Right. Yep. Now, if you say to me, well, Shane, I'm old school, limiting self-belief, and I still do these in person, which is less efficient and it's less convenient for most of your potential clients as well, then you just record a voice memo on your phone. You start the voice memo, you say, hey, Kyle, it's cool. I'm going to record this call. I'm going to send you the transcript of this. It's really great. I know we're here at a coffee shop. It can be loud. And I know from personal experience, even if I'm taking great notes, there's something I'm going to miss. And this is not a process where you want to have missed information.
Right.
So if it's cool with you, I'm going to record this. I'll send this to you as soon as I get back to my office. Cool. Awesome. We got acknowledgement. Then I record that call. Fathom AI would be my primary. Voice memo on my phone would be secondary. Then I take that AI transcript and I put it into my ChatGPT transcript analyzer. Now, what I've done prior to this call, one time, is I coached GPT to build out an entire persona with the goal of analyzing every transcript, cross-reference that transcript against any other transcript, highlight any common red flags, any similarities, any themes that come up multiple times. Then I instruct it to, based on social media profiles that I follow, strategies that I've taken from Donald Miller, Story Brand, and others. Again, I've spent an hour to build the perfect prompt. One time, high effort input one time to get high impact output every time.
And we just did an episode about all that.
And we did that, right? So I take that, but this one is just a transcript analysis, sole focus. My bots do a singular thing. It makes it easier for my brain. I do an intake call. I take the transcript. I put it in the transcript analyzer, and I've instructed it to cross-reference, to compare, to contrast, to create coaching notes, for my team, highlight things internally, to take the top 5 things I need to share with that client. So then my email follow-up post intake call is better. They're getting the Fathom notes. They're getting my highlights. They're getting my application link, and it's a much better process. I also instructed to create 3 Facebook posts, 3 Instagram scripts for me to record reels, 3 LinkedIn articles, 3 LinkedIn posts, 3 blog posts. Like the amount of content I can create from one intake call are almost endless.
It's unbelievable.
So I sat down with my group yesterday, and I'm doing this now. Every time I talk to anybody in a video format, anytime I'm doing anything, I capture it. I analyze all those transcripts. And what's crazy is it creates content from my voice. See, what a lot of people are doing is they're half-assing AI. They're saying, build me social media content. And then it spits out garbage that doesn't sound like you. And it's not authentic. It's not really contributing to any of your audiences. It's just you patting yourself on the back so that you can say you post on social media. It's not effective. What's more effective is taking your own voice, having assistance to refine that voice, and then sharing that voice consistently online. And we've said now for months that you shouldn't show up as a vendor online, or when you do, it should be rare and it should be high value. If you're taking your personal stories and experiences from your intake calls, that becomes really high value content. So with this, I was asking my momentum group, and we had 6 people on the call. Everyone's doing 10 to 15 intake calls or more per month. If you had 10 intake calls a month, you're getting 3 social media, 3 Facebook posts, 3 Instagram posts, 3 LinkedIn posts per. That's 30 to 50 pieces of content without thinking about blog posts, without thinking about ebooks, without thinking about any of the other things. And the crazy thing, if you've actually ever recorded any of your intake calls before, you can upload those today and have months worth of authentically voiced content for any social media platform done within minutes. And so now when I transcribe my calls, all I have to say, it's low effort input. I say, please analyze this transcript. I drag the Word document into ChatGPT. I click submit, and it spits out high value content that I can repurpose in multiple formats within 1 minute.
Man, it's wild. And the conclusion that I've come to is the same 20% that do the 80% of the work are going to be the same 20% that adopt AI and master it, like you said in the beginning. And this is why we put this out here, because we don't want that to be true, though we believe it to be true, because there's people out there that you're poised to take advantage of this. But we need your help. And so one of the things that we love to do that, Shane, I don't think we say enough on the show is if we left out a step that you thought, man, how'd they get from that to that? Ask us that question, send us that feedback. And guess what? You'll probably see an episode because we've done it before, where we'll add to something because we got the question, because we're thinking way up here and we may not always get down here. And so help us help you by engaging in that way. And guys, we will not stop telling you that this is what we do inside of the collective. This is what we're passionate about. This is what we love to wake up every day and get into the nitty gritty of. And so if you need a community, if you need accountability, and if you want to be plugged into a system that is tried, proven, and works over and over and again, you need to come be a part of what we're doing inside of the Collective Coaching. And so you can go to thecollectivecoaching.com, go check us out, because there's no way we won't be able to serve your business in an incredible capacity. We appreciate you guys listening, watching. Shane, see you on the next one, bro.
Thanks, guys.